Hi, everyone. It's Joanne JJ Lee coming live to you from actually Houston, Texas right now. I actually reside in Austin, but I've been in Houston, spending a lot of time with family, and also the rest of the panel here from all over the world, as you can see, from Canada to Australia. Anyway, we have a very special guest tonight. His name is William Rodriguez. He's going to share with you some amazing story of how he rose from hustling on the streets during his younger years to now becoming a successful internet marketer, making $1,600 a day income online. So stay tuned with us for his amazing story. Don't go anywhere. Before I pass the mic to William, I would like the rest of the panelists here, my amazing teammates and partners who are also powerful internet marketers, to quickly introduce themselves, their names, where they're from, and perhaps a little bit of themselves if they like. Anyway, from your left, we have Mr. Alan Luck. Take it away, please.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes. Hey guys, Alan Luke from Toronto, and yeah, I'm very glad to have Mr. William on the call with us today. Before the hangout, he was talking a little bit about how he got involved with network marketing, and I mean, I got involved with network marketing. I was sick and tired because soon after I was in the NFL club, the No Friends Left, right? With going to Walmart, heading out, business cards, trying to recruit everybody, and before I know it, I mean, it doesn't work for me. But so it's the same system that as William will talk about shortly, is where I got the breakthroughs, right? And guys, I'm just gonna pass the floor back to our host here. But I mean, I just can't wait to hear what William has to say more about his story and the system that allow us to really create that freedom, that breakthrough in all of our businesses. So, pass it back to you, JJ.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. Next one on the panel will be Andrew Shin. As a matter of fact, William is Andrew's accountability partner, so Andrew has a few words to say about Williams as well after he introduces himself. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey everyone, this is Andrew Shin from Los Angeles, California. I'm really glad to have William Rodriguez here tonight at the hangout. And as JJ said, like he spent on the street hustling when he was young, and then now he's like an amazing internet entrepreneur, and then making great results from it and helping many people to also have the success in making money on the internet. So I actually met William back in Austin, Texas during the Empower Network event back in January with Ramil. So there were like 15 of us in a house. Like we spent like the weekend there all together, and then like I got to meet William there, and then like kind of like we talked a lot and mastermind, and I realized like he's an amazing guy and a lot to learn from. Not only like internet marketing, like he also like focused heavily on the mindset and personal development. So look forward to it, guys. Like he'll share his story and how you can become a successful entrepreneur and start getting great results. So I'm like really looking forward to see like what William got to share tonight.
Thank you, Andrew. Next on the panel will be Ms. Emilie Nguyen from Canada.
Hey guys, Emilie Nguyen here from Montreal, Quebec, and I'm pretty excited about this hangout here and our special guest tonight, because as you guys all saw on the promotion, is that he came from hustling in the streets for being in jail for 9 years, and to now he battled through many obstacles and challenges to now becoming a successful online entrepreneur. So I'm pretty excited to hear about his story. And I was in this online business for less than a year, now close to a year, and I've heard a lot of stories out there that really touched my heart, and that I was able to relate myself to. But tonight, you know, it's tonight. I feel like it's one of those stories again. So I can't wait to hear about it. Back to you, JJ.
Thanks, Emily. Next on the panel will be Mr. Tam Dang.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, hey everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm extremely excited for this hangout as well. You see, the purpose that we set up these hangouts is so that we can bring people from different backgrounds, from different experiences, and we can share them with you to hope that you know, we can help you with some beliefs, give you some you know, one tip or secret that you can that help, you know, maybe push you over the fence so that you can make the right decision, so that you can be empowered and move towards success. And William's from Harlem. He grew up from Harlem. When I first heard about that, I was like, yeah, wow, you know, like I grew up listening to a lot of rappers from Harlem, and you know, a lot of them like Big L, you know, they run into a lot of like heavy stuff in the streets, right? And so I'm really what's the word I'm looking for? But to know that Will sort of came from that background, and to not get caught in that kind of world, right? I'm extremely ecstatic and excited to hear what he has to share tonight, because he must have faced a lot of battle and a lot of mindset challenges to get him to move away from that kind of world. So I'm extremely excited. JJ, back to you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. Guys, just like what Em and Tim and other panelists have just mentioned, William Rodriguez has an amazing story to share with us tonight. He started out with a rough childhood, hustling on the streets, went to prison for 9 years, then struggling in traditional network marketing and traditional old school ways, you know, hustling out there at the supermarket, and calling, making calls on a daily basis, before he discovered Empower, and now he's crushing it with Empower, $1,600 a day online. As you will see, all these obstacles and challenges that he went through from his early years to now becoming a very powerful internet marketer, and he's not looking back. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the mic to William. Take it away.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate that introduction, JJ. First of all, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm good? All right, cool. Thanks. I appreciate that introduction. Again, I was actually just taking notes on what you were saying. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. As you can see, I was excited. I was one of the first people on the hangout when Andrew invited me. I think, what was that, last week sometime, Andrew? We was talking.
Yeah, about a week ago.
Yeah, when he invited me, man, I mean, I was jumping for joy. I ain't gonna lie, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to meet you guys. I had seen him. I told Andrew, I said, I saw you on the hangout, and and I said, man, that was pretty cool. You know, you got to share some value. And thing about me is, you know, that's what I love. I love when, you know, sharing value. And now I didn't ask him could I be on the hangout, but he knows how much I love sharing value because of the time we spent at the house in Austin, Texas. And so, you know, he went ahead and invited me just purely off my excitement. And again, I appreciate that, Andrew.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited to see you tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically you know, why I'm here, so I can share some value. And I mean, yeah, my story, these guys are definitely right on point about my story. I have come from you know, some pretty rough background. Not, you know, it's not. I mean, for me, I guess I could say it's not that bad, but obviously, you know, growing up with rough circumstances, like you know, being raised by my grandmother, you know, both parents being out on the streets, being addicted to drugs and all that stuff, not having the proper guidance, you know, coming up in the streets, being around the wrong crowd, making the wrong decisions. You know, it could get crazy. You know what I'm saying? It could get crazy. So I definitely made a lot of poor choices coming up. Always tried to stay doing the right thing as far as going to school, and tried to stay out the streets, but it just was that the law of the streets kept me, you know, kept pulling me in, basically. You know, I'm sure, Tam, you've heard that in the rap songs before and all that. That's a very real that's a very real thing. You know, so when you that close up on it, you know, when you're that involved in it, it's hard to really get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's things that you see going on that you actually that attracts you. You know, I've always been attracted to a certain type of lifestyle. I always wanted the finer things in life, I guess they say, and that, you know, being that I had that influence around me and that close to me, that was that's what I saw as the way to get those things that I wanted. Always, you know, like I said, always wanted that, but at the end of the day, nah, it wasn't worth it to try to get to try to accomplish my goals, because I basically always had big goals and big dreams. It's just that the way I went about accomplishing them was all wrong. It was all wrong. All throughout I actually stayed in school. I was telling JJ this earlier today. I actually did stay in school all the way up until like college, and you know, just basically because, you know, that was honestly that was just where everybody was at. To me, I kind of like was trying to be in the in crowd or be part of the crowd, and so to me, that's where everybody was basically, you know, it was a place where I could influence things. Like in the streets, I couldn't really influence anything. I could just be a part of something. But in school, I could kind of influence things. I was always had a little bit of smarts. You know, was kind of funny a little bit. You know, and I was always the one that wanted to just be a little bit mischievous, you know, just like, you know, so it was like everybody wanted to, you know, not everybody, but a lot of people wanted to hang out with me, wanted to be around me, or whatever the case may be. So, you know, that's why I stayed in. But the whole time in school, I was definitely half and half. I had one foot in the streets, one foot in school, one foot in the streets, one foot in school. So, man, that lasted all the way up until college. Actually, that lasted all the way up until like my my junior year. Wound up going away to Pennsylvania and staying on campus in college. And basically, I was, like I said, a little, you know, I had some sense, so I knew what was going on in class. But at the end of the day, I wasn't really paying attention in class. At that point, that the law was really pulling on me real hard, because at that point, I guess I could say, you know, there was a time where there was some opportunities, quote unquote, thrown my way where I could make more money than I had been making from doing illegal things, and I kind of dived into that real deep when I got to college. And so, you know, it kind of got out of control a little bit. And say about my junior year, that was when, you know, that's when I had the federal agency, or I guess the federal government, came to get me and things of that nature. And I had to, you know, I had to pay for my crimes. I had to pay for what I was doing. And, you know, at the end of the day, I honestly, I accepted that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't really nothing that I could get around. But at the end of the day, the real reason why I accepted it is because me being a quote unquote true hustler, you know, that was always something that I was already prepared for. as crazy as that might sound, when you really doing certain things in the street, and when you really gotta make a decision, and you gotta really like how could I put it, devote yourself to this particular type of lifestyle, you gotta already be aware of the consequences. You know what I'm saying? Of the results that's gonna come. That's gonna come from the actions that you're taking. So I can't, you know, always knew from just growing up, like I said, always being in the streets. Shoot, like I said, my parents they had me, I was running around the streets actually literally since I was like 7 years old, because I was running around with my mother and father. They was hustlers and they was addicted to drugs. So they had me running around with them. And so I was, like I said, exposed to all that. But I saw all their friends, I saw all my friends' parents and their friends. The statistics on that was always, look, yeah, this is cool for now, but at the end of the day, it's either going to wind up, you're either going to be locked up or you're going to be dead. Like, that's just what it was. And I accepted that, and I went ahead and dove into that. And like I said, called myself playing it smart for a while, but by the time I got to college, got a little bit out of control. The money started coming real fast. You know, it was just crazy. And so wound up doing a bunch of crazy things that landed me in prison, basically. It landed me on that long spiral, that long downward, you know. It was crazy because not only did I get locked up, you know what I'm saying, I had, you know, family members that loved me who actually had to put their lives on, you know, on hold for me to make sure I was all right, you know, behind the bars. Now, they didn't really know exactly what it was, you know. Well, actually, my mother and my father, they had been locked up before, so they knew what it was. But you know, my grandmother, you know, and my aunts and my brothers and things of that nature, they didn't know, but they still had to do that time with me, and so, you know, that affected them. And and by the way, this wasn't a 9-year stretch all in one time. It was broken down in the, you know, 3 years here, 4 years there, 6. So it was basically an ongoing, reoccurring thing. You know what I'm saying? Like what they call recidivism. And so during that time when I was on that journey, I call it now, I actually had 2 children. And so, you know, at one point it became a situation where now, you know, I'm not only affecting myself and my family, I'm affecting my children, because I'm being taken away from them now. So, you know, at the end of the day, that's just basically my reason for actually having to really sit down and take a look at why I'm doing what I'm doing. What am I really doing, you know, to myself, to my family? Do I deserve to be, you know, in the position, you know, that I'm in? And, you know, that happened, that came around 2000. The last time I was in prison, around 2011. And when I had that sit down, that with myself, had to sit down with myself and ask myself, you know, is this really what you want? You know what I'm saying? Is this really the life that you want? Is this what you think that you think that you can have? And the answers to those questions, man, you know, it broke me down. But at the end of the day, it was basically the life changing decisions that I needed to make. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end, like, I was really at a crossroads, for the simple fact that I wanted to stop doing what I was doing, but it was all that I thought that I knew, right? And by being all that I thought I knew, I was what they call addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? I was really addicted to that lifestyle. I was addicted to, you know, doing things that I knew wasn't right. And so when I came to that decision, it was like, well, you know what? it's not about the things, because you know addiction is basically something that you think that you want, and sometimes what you need, but more about what you want. You know what I'm saying? Those selfish desires. So I had to choose between what I think I want to do with my life and what I got to do with my life. Now, what I have to do with my life was way bigger than me. See, the things that I want was more selfish, was more what do I want, what does Will want. When I started to think about, you know, the things that I have to do in life was I had to be a father. You know what I'm saying? I had to be a son. I had to be, you know, certain things I had to do for other people. And those outweighed, at that point, that those things outweighed me. You know what I'm saying? And coupled with the fact that, you know, me having my freedom constantly taken from me, you know, freedom is like man's most valuable asset. You know what I'm saying? So me constantly having that taken from me, that kind of took a little toll on me too. And so, you know, it was a little bit selfish. I didn't want that no more either. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I made a decision in 2011. My fiance, I asked my fiance to come up on a visit, and I expressed to her what I wanted to do with my life, which was turn it around. You know what I'm saying? Which was to leave the life that I knew. I had to leave that completely. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have to sit down with too many people. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was just me, and then I spoke with my fiance. She told me she believed in me. She told me she believed that could happen. You know, so we went ahead and you know, I came home. I was paroled to that to the home, and that was it. From there, it was just straight up a whole new life. You know what I'm saying? Whole new life. Now that comes with a lot of, you know, it's a lot of things that you got to do that I found out as I was going through it. You know, in order for you to make that change, a lot of strength, a lot of resilience that you have to have, because me personally, like all I knew, like I said, all I knew was that life at one point. So for me to change, I had to really like remove myself from my whole environment. You know what I'm saying? I had to remove myself from most of my friends, most of the people that I knew, most of the things that I knew, right? And kind of like seclude myself until I was able to actually show the strength that I needed to show. Because as long as you hang, you know what they say, you're a direct reflection of the 5 people that you hang around most. So, you know, as long as I'm hanging around, and honestly, I tried that too. You know, at one point when I you know, my life had been like an up and down roller coaster. You know, sometimes I would come home and I would say, all right, I'm chilling. I'm not going to do nothing no more. I'm not going to be in that life. But I would still be hanging around certain people, right? I would still have these associates in my circle. So that would be it was detrimental to me, to me actually moving on. So when I made that final decision, I actually removed myself from everything, and wound up, you know, just going on this journey and going and searching for, you know, a way, basically a way. Now, the way that I was thinking, well, I was always entrepreneur, like at heart. Every judge that ever sentenced me, they all said the same thing. They all said, look, you'd be a hell of an entrepreneur if you just pick the right things to do business with, right? So, you know, I knew what I was worth. Nobody ever doubted that. It's just that I just didn't know certain things, and so now I had to be. I was like a baby. You know, I had to really like grow. I had to learn. I had to, you know, just experience all new things, and I actually, you know, I understand the concept of having to crawl before you walk as well. So when I came home in 2011, I actually tried to get, you know, employment. I tried to get a job, which you got to try to do anyway, because, you know, you want to be a productive member of society. I had certain agencies watching me to make sure that I was integrating with society correctly in their terms, from what they feel is a correct integration. or reintegration. So, that went, I had to appease them. So, they either wanted me to get a job or go back to school, one of the two. Now, I say about maybe about 5, 6 months. They give you a little window, sometimes 6 months. About 5, 6 months went by looking for a job, couldn't get a job. Couldn't find anybody that wanted to actually give me a chance, right? To give me a shot, a second shot. And so, in order for me to not get put back in prison for not finding a job, I actually went back to school, started taking some classes. So that was cool. That was what saved me from that. But the fact of the matter was, I still couldn't I couldn't actually earn an income. It was just difficult. I can't say I couldn't. It was difficult to find employment. So I basically had to come to another decision. Well, I'm going to have to create my own income, right? Now, only way I really knew how to create my own income was the things that I was used to doing. And I knew I couldn't do that again. So what I did was I just, I reached out to a buddy of mine, an older guy that I know that lives down in Atlanta, and he didn't know what I was going through. Nobody really, there's always a facade that's put up. Nobody really knows what people are doing or what you're going through sometimes when you know how to hide stuff or you know how to conceal things. And I guess I was good at that. And so, he didn't know what was going on. But when I reached out to him, I said, hey, do you have anything, is there any employment down your way? Or do you know anybody up in New Jersey, which is where I moved to, that would be willing to employ me? And he was kind of shocked at that. He actually was shocked that I was looking for a job because he knew me from being the guy, from the street. So he really didn't even believe it. And but he did. He just sent me a couple of links, right, and told me, hey, here are a couple of opportunities that I have here that I'm involved in. Why don't you take a look at it and let me know which ones you like? Basically, those 2 links were for 2 network marketing companies, right? Just a little 4-minute video, short little video telling me about the companies, whatever the case may be. One of those was a health and wellness company. I told them I liked what I saw, and the rest is, probably what y'all already know. Y'all probably all been in this situation. The next thing was a home meeting. Went to a home meeting, saw the presentation. I said, I can do this. I'm going to be rich, right? So that's how that went down. Got involved in that. But the only thing about that was, first and foremost, the guys who brought me in, or the one individual that brought me in, he wound up leaving. He wound up leaving the company shortly after he brought me in, went to another deal. He was deal hopping, which I didn't know nothing about at the time. I thought it was something, he was telling me, this program here, it's not paying us right, this, that, and the third. I guess all the stuff they say before they hop. And I was like, listen, brother, I just got here. I don't know what you doing, what you up to over there, but I'm staying right here. I don't know nothing about this. I'm not going to jump into something else I don't know nothing about. Let me try to figure this out, right? And so he respected that. He still left. I was left to really fend for myself. What I did was just reached out to his upline and things of that nature. Wound up getting with this guy. Now, this guy wound up being an excellent personal development coach, and actually a successful network marketer. However, he was teaching methods of network marketing that were pretty much old school. Now, I didn't know they was old school at the time. I just thought they was something different. This whole thing was something different. Network marketing, it was exciting to me, but it was different. And then I said, all right, it's going to take some work, but I'll do it. Things he was teaching was basically three-way calls, home meetings, the rigmarole, the same old stuff that he was doing. Now, he'd been in the network marketing for 20 years, so that's what got him his money, and he felt that that's what would duplicate first and foremost, and he felt that that was the most effective, and so that's what he taught, and that's what I went with, and that's what didn't work for me for a while, right? So but I tried. I kept on, but it just was something pulling at me, something burning inside of me, saying, "Look, it's got to be a better way than this." You know what I'm saying? The whole time I got involved maybe probably December 2011. Maybe for, I don't even know, up until August 2012. I was going with that. I was doing what I had to do. I was peaking, passing, home meetings, everything. It just wasn't working out like they said it would work